Howdy folks, it is Friday, August 22nd, 5:12 p.m. is the time, and the temperature here in downtown Toronto is about 26 degrees Celsius, and they're setting up for a festival here at Dundas Square. I think this is the rather ridiculously named Sankofa Festival that'll be taking place tomorrow. But make no mistake, it is, in fact, and will always be Dundas Square. I don't plan on covering the event. And who knows, maybe I'll change my mind by tomorrow. And this is Yonge and Dundas. And that sun to the west is pretty brutal. So for this one, I need to make my way down to Queens Quay West. There's a new restaurant there called Queens Harbour. And the plan is to meet up with some viewers who invited me out for dinner. And hopefully after that, I'll do a live stream and then maybe a video or two. And there's the 505 Dundas streetcar. And if you're familiar with Toronto's geography, you might be wondering, what the heck am I doing walking east on Dundas if I have to make my way down to Queen Street or Queens Quay West? That would be a very good question. But I decided I would take Church Street, either down to Front or to the Esplanade. And then head over to Yonge and then down to the Waterfront and over to Queens Harbour Restaurant. This is Victoria Street. There's the former home of City TV. There's the Imperial Pub. Church is coming up in a block, then I'll hang a right. And we'll head into the St. Lawrence neighborhood. I was actually going to head out to the east side of the city to record today, but then I got the invite to this dinner I thought let's just keep it in the downtown area. Here's church. Just to the north of here is the TMU campus, the school formerly known as Ryerson. And just north of that is the Church Wellesley Village. The second ambulance turning north up Church. Hopefully all is well. No, this one turned off south. I wonder if that was a case of the other one beating it to the punch. No, its sirens are still blaring. That one started to turn right, which is north. And it kind of pulled a U-turn and now it's going south. And it just turned right onto Shooter. So perhaps it's going to St. Mike's. I mentioned the village is in the other direction. That's the heart of the LGBTQ community in the city. And there's a trio of nice old churches we'll be walking by. Starting with this one whose name is escaping me. Knox Presbyterian, maybe? Normally I'm pretty good at recalling these things. There's Henry's. They used to be located just south of here. This is at Shooter Street, and there's been a fair bit of development along Shooter. It's starting to show more signs of life than it used to have. That was an Air Canada flight crew. And earlier in the week, they resolved their strike, so it's good that that has been resolved. A whole lot of travel plans were screwed up. There's the Metropolitan United Church. I think Church Street is by far the liveliest north-south corridor on the east side of downtown. You could maybe make an argument for Cabbagetown on Parliament Street, but that's really just between Gerrard and Wellesley. And this is Queen Street East coming up. I recently did a video featuring this. All right, that's 5:22. I need to be there around 6. Should be making okay time. But maybe we'll stay on the east side of church for a few more blocks. And streetcars divert south of here, as along Queen between Victoria and York. The streetcars are all dug up as they're tunneling for the Ontario line. And that reminds me, it's Fan Expo. That or Comic-Con, I think Fan Expo. Down on Front Street, maybe I'll head around there and make a video tomorrow.
I saw the phone calling you guys, I was
There's the very long-standing McVeigh's Irish Pub. Or Murphy's, I think. McVeigh's is... Oh, I think it's McVeigh's. Sorry, the sun filled up my vision there. I just saw an M. I started second-guessing myself.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
I dig the facade on this building. And this one here is called Spire. It was one of the first condos to spring up in this area as part of the current condo boom. I had a friend who moved in there. I don't remember much about his unit. I only went over a few times. I remember sleeping in the guest room. And by that I mean it's a dedicated suite for guests of people who own units in the building. I came back over from Korea to go to his wedding. As we get to Adelaide Street. There's a 504 King Street car going to Broadview Station. And the streetcar tracks along King are all dug up. They're tackling a number of different maintenance issues all at once. I think water main repair, as well as upgrading the streetcar tracks. So this one will be going north up to Queen for a diversion.
So weird to see that all clear now.
But the intersection just south of here was a disaster zone for most of the summer. And it looks like they've cleared it up, so at least this part of the construction is done. Probably the most well-known church in the city. As I stepped into a giant divot. I don't think I've ever stopped to read this plaque though. Let's take a look. No, this is the third church to stand on this property. You can pause the video if you want to read that. And how nice is this? This intersection is finally opened up. I think the score on King took a bit of a hit in their business. Just because of how inaccessible things were here, with all the construction noise and dust and that sort of thing, but it's a great place. They've got a fantastic patio. Financial district just off in that direction. It is 5:30. I think this patio is a little nicer than their patio at the new Score on Queen, but they're both quite similar. Oh, and you can really see the Sky Tower rising. Soon to be the tallest building in Canada. We'll be walking right past that one. Maybe about 8 minutes or so. Don't quote me on that. And here's the hothouse. This place has been here for as long as I can remember. And normally that would be a somewhat iconic view of the Flatiron Building. As you can see, it's wrapped up in construction hoarding. Some dogs getting overly excited.
Okay.
Right around the corner. There's a number of patios that should be fairly busy. The Goose Island bar, and there is an original Banksy protected in a frame. I've been trying to avoid walking west here. At least we found some shade. There's a new supermarket in the area and no frills.
We were hosting them.
And this is the beer market on the right.
So, Champions League. Say Mark. Tell my not come out with it.
So Florida plate. Big performing arts center right there. And next stop, Yonge Street. Ironing board. Ha. Yonge Street, financial district looming just to the north. This is a rail corridor I'm heading underneath. Union Station is just west of here, which is over to the right. really know what to expect at this restaurant. I saw it shortly after it opened. This guy's directing traffic. Thank you. That's a new one for that spot. Maybe he's living out his fantasy of being a traffic cop. This is Lakeshore Boulevard underneath the crumbling Gardner Expressway. And it's very common for drivers in the city to enter intersections before they can get all the way through. And there is Sky Tower. It's going to reach about 351 meters, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas the one which was dueling with it to be tallest building in the country at one point is only set to reach about 308 meters. Making this the easy victor. Let's look at the podium. It was originally supposed to be about 313 meters, but they've been applying for multiple height increases. I think it's currently a little over the 70-story mark. It's part of a large complex of new towers going in, which was originally going to include modifications to the Toronto Star building straight ahead. That was to have been reclad, and I believe some floors added to it. That was left out of the plan somewhat late into the stages of pre-construction. But what's crazy is when this is topped off, the highest floors are going to be around the same height as the observation deck at the CN Tower. Although the 1 Yonge Street address is a bit of a stretch. It's not exactly right at the southern terminus of Yonge Street, a street many falsely claim to be the longest in the world. All right, it's time for the part that was kind of dreading. We're going to be walking west along Queens Quay West here, directly into the sun, and I've got about 18 minutes to get there if I'm to be on time. If you know me, I'm a super punctual person. I both hate waiting, but even more than that, hate making people wait. Yeah, we can cross here, I guess.
You mean those?
Yeah.
That's his style?
Yeah.
There's Lake Ontario. And an Air Canada plane flying into Billy Bishop. And the sun is just high enough to be a bit of a nuisance here. But straight ahead is the Weston Harbour Castle. This was built in the mid-70s. It has just under 1,000 rooms, if memory serves me correct. It's connected to a convention center, or conference center they call it, right across the street. It's a popular hotel for corporate events. In my previous life, I had been here a few times to attend those. I've never stayed there. I did stay at a Westin in Bangkok on my last trip. It's kind of an older five-star chain. Most of their properties are on the older side. But they're extremely well kept. I get one free stay at a Marriott property every year for having a Hilton, or not a Hilton, a Marriott Bonvoy Amex card. That's the only reason I have that card. Literally pays for itself when you use it for one night, although the value is capped, so you have to be somewhat smart about it. This is Harbour Square Park on the left. That's where you'd grab a ferry to the islands. And there's a look north.
Oh, it's right there.
Walk straight for 9 minutes.
So this is west on the south side of Queens Quay West. If I was feeling extra lazy, I could take the streetcar just a few stops. There's Love Park across the street. I was just there in a live stream earlier in the week. I was watching a YouTuber who's an intern at Wealth Simple do a day in the life of video. And I think he lives in that tall condo in the center of the shot. He mentioned right out his window he could see Love Park. You could also see right into this RBC building here. So he's either in that building or he's in Water Club. The Harbourfront Centre is coming up, and this restaurant's just on the other side of it. And it looks like we have an outage. All the signals are flashing. When that happens, drivers are supposed to take this as a four-way stop, but this is kind of a hectic intersection to be doing that. There's always going to be pedestrians. That streetcar is just going for it and honk at those people. Pretty much has no choice. If it doesn't do that, it's never going to get through. All right, since I have 10 minutes, rather than walk along Queens Quay, let's dawdle around the Harbourfront Centre. There's people making some pretty late trips out to the islands. There's not a whole lot to do out there once the sun goes down. They hold a lot of events here at the Harbourfront Centre. A lot of people gearing up for some evening cruises.
How are you? Hi, Annie.
How are you doing? Were you guys a PlayStation or?
Apparently this restaurant we're going to, I was just looking up some details, has an interactive sushi bar, 3 unique cocktail bars, and Canada's largest retractable rooftop patio. And it creatively blends Mediterranean soul with Asian flavors.
So much I got.
I'm not sure what I was thinking when I decided not to wear a t-shirt. That was a big mistake. I wore a long sleeve t-shirt like a dummy. I've got my sleeves down, but I guess I thought since I'd be out late after sunset, it would be a lot cooler. I don't know, I'm an idiot sometimes. There's the Kahama, a tall ship. Mangonada.
That's a good price.
और दूसरा आपकी
Oh, look at this. Hold the camera up a little higher. Gently refreshing. I don't know how else to describe that. What the hell are they playing? Definitely need some Tylenol. They're going for a spin on that thing. They are blasting that. These are new. Someone's got their boat in this person's dock. I think this is the offending boat that just pulled in and docked at D12. It's probably not something you're supposed to do. They're honking pretty good. Y'all can get that boat out of there. I guess that's the boating equivalent of taking someone's parking spot in a condo. And there is Queens Harbour and the Amsterdam Brew House on the other side. Got a little market set up here. And it is 5:58, so my timing is just about perfect. I'll be fashionably 1 or 2 minutes late. There's Queens Harbour. I think we're inside. If you're wondering who the viewers are, I believe there will be Marie and Brad Palmer, Marg D, and Upstate New York Bob, and I think a few other viewers possibly. Or maybe not viewers, but people that are friends to them, as I cross the wave deck and get set to go check out this restaurant. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do. There's links to Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. And there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Taking a picture of the menu for some reason. And there's also links to Bitcoin and Ethereum if you want to send some my way. Speaking of Ethereum, it just broke an all-time high while I was recording this walk. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Yoink.